Hi AJ, hope you liked your video on the serve. In Australia we also practice your and tape your forehand, and again comparing you with Roger Federer. So we see Federer, of course, on the right at the US Open. You on the clay courts, 240 frames per second. And if you remember, in Australia there were a couple of things we worked on, but let's take a look at this nice forehand right here. If I had Federer, he's moving backwards right here, as you see, and then you're also on the clay. But let's look at some key positions. And again, key positions are the fundamentals that you and Roger will have similarly. The first key position we're going to look at is the unit turn or the shoulder turn. Here we see Roger's already turned sideways. His left hand is on the racket. Both hands are on the racket. You haven't turned yet, so we want that shoulder turn a little quicker. So you're ready to hit the ball. Now, here's the backswing into the loaded position. Now, Roger Federer's racket is still up. A lot of weight on that back leg. He's a little more sideways than you. Your racket's already dropped back into the slot a little too early, so we're going to look at that. The contact point, if you notice, we talked about Roger Federer's front foot lifting. Remember, he was moving backwards and he's trying to create more lift on the ball. He's driving upwards. And the last piece is the finish here. Federer is more turned away from us, and we're going to comment on that too. You have a nice finish up nice and high too, but we're going to look at what you can do better. So there are two things that you can do better. Number one, in the initial shoulder turn, is use the left hand to help you with that shoulder turn. Here we see you and Roger. I slowed it down a little. Notice how long Roger Federer's hands are on the racket. Now he begins to let go. You already let go much earlier. So we take a look at it one more time. Federer's hands on the racket. He's turned sideways. You're now beginning, not quite turning sideways, you're just letting the racket separate from the hand. So your hand separated much earlier than Roger Federer's. So that doesn't let your left shoulder turn. So keep your hands on the racket, let the shoulders turn together for what we call angular momentum. Another benefit of the unit turn with both hands is that you keep the racket head up and you don't drop into the backswing, as you see right here, into the slot. I call that the slot. Your racket butt is facing the net or the ball, and your racket, you can see, is parallel to the ground. Federer's racket is still up. He's still loaded on that back foot. He's going to drop the racket a little later than yours. You already dropped the racket. You actually want the racket to drop into the slot momentarily and very quickly and explode out of it, as you see Federer is right there. So you want to explode out of that slot. So keep the racket head up with both hands on it. When you drop it into the slot, explode out of it. The second main point I want to point out is to complete your follow-through and complete your rotation. So here we see you swinging away, and Federer, at the end of his swing, you can see his feet moved and his shoulders moved, and he's actually facing away from us. You can see he rotates all around. You can see the back of his shirt. Right now you're facing the net. So you swing, good contact, but you only let the shoulders face the net. Federer is rotating another 90 degrees. So let's look at it one more time. Here's the whole backhand. So I want you to think, after you hit that ball, let your whole shoulders face the other sideline. Let that right foot come up if you want. AJ, good luck with your forehand. Keep practicing it. Let those shoulders swing through. Let that left hand stay in the racket longer. And good luck with the forehand.